Hey everyone, welcome to this pick a card reading. My name is Elena and this is Angel's Cup Tarot. Today we're going to be looking at what is next for you in love. We have 3 piles to choose from, pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Now you can pause the video if you need some time to pick and choose a pile. I'll leave the timestamps in the description box down below, so you can click directly to your reading. And as always, let's begin. Hi Pile 1, if you chose this deck or this amethyst crystal, then this is your reading. Before we begin, I am so grateful that you've chosen to join me for this reading. Your support means the world to me, and it also helps me create more content that resonates with you. By liking this video, you can also help other people discover this reading and receive the guidance that they may need. So if you enjoy this reading, please take a moment to like it and share it with others who may benefit from it to grow our community. It's the easiest way to support our community and me. Thank you again for watching. It's greatly appreciated. Pile 1, I'm so excited to see what's next for you in love. Let's discover. You have the moon upright, so it's a mystery to it. Nice. And then you also have strength in reverse. Okay. And then the 6 of cups in reverse. What is that about? And then the Empress in reverse. And then the Ace of Earth in reverse. Wanted to clarify that right away, and that makes sense, especially with strength in reverse. Transformation in reverse, the Tower in reverse. Yeah, I love to see that. Realization, life change, liberation. Interesting. See how this angel is guiding this person away from that. And then see how in the 6 of cups, someone is guiding someone. Interesting. Okay, so we have the Hanged Man in reverse. And then Page of Fire in reverse, creative, enthusiastic, motivated. Interesting, really interesting. The Sun upright, yeah, as you should, pile number 1, as you should. And then 2 of Cups upright, 2 of Water, yeah, partnership, commitment, reconciliation. Okay. The 7 of Wands upright, yes, yes. Now it makes sense, make it make sense, and it does. And then we have Release in reverse, and it says endings, transformation, freedom, and that is Death in reverse. And then New love, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Okay. And then Knight of Air, intellectual, determined, motivated. Yes. So what is next for you in love, pile number 1? We see a pretty clear message here in terms of what's next for you. We also see some past energy. There has been some, and Spirit has guided you away from that. And I think we see so much backup story to this whole thing, because Spirit just wants to confirm that this is indeed your pile. So I'll give you the story, and if that makes sense, you'll know if that is actually your pile. So Spirit really wants to confirm here, I guess. So in the past, it felt like you really had to be strong and you had to hold it all together, or maybe hold like a relationship very tightly together, and it just required a lot of strength from you, and it just did not work out the way you expected. And due to that, things really came crumbling down, and certain events, I want to say, still sort of traumatize you up to this day, and they leave you in this place of unease sometimes when you go back to these memories, or whenever you feel like something reminds you of that and you really get into that feeling again. It's like terrified by it somewhat, and feeling like you really did the right thing for someone and really had to stand in your strength in order to make something work that ended up not working out either way. And it could be that this is like longer in the past, something that you've already moved on from for quite some time. It could be for some of you that this is like recent past that you've just come out of. And yeah, Spirit is telling us what's next, really telling us what's next. And I think this depiction is especially beautiful because it's so color coding we see going on here with this card and this card, very similar when it comes to color. And then with the strength in reverse, especially what we see going on in terms of how this just evolves with the green. See how this just evolves. It's an evolution we see play out, which is so beautiful and unique to me. And the deck you chose, this one, it has so much mystery and just fantasy to it. It really does feel like stepping in one's paradise, and I think this is what's about to happen when it comes to your love life. It's really something to see, and it's such a nice evolution. You let go of the need to feel, you let go of feeling the need to stand in your strength all the time. You realize that if someone wants to be part of your life, they need to come correct. And that is what then happens. We see someone in your future that really goes above and beyond to please you and to give you what you deserve and what you need. And I think this is due to the process of realizing that you do not need to carry the load of a connection, and you also don't need to stand in your strength all the time. And this person really does lighten the load, and it is what drives them, the need to please you, I want to say. And that's what's giving them so much more drive, is this desire to make you happy and just, I want to say please you and really go above and beyond in order to make this work, in order to protect you, protect what you build. And I would say that this is talking about creating a family. If you already have a family, then that doesn't matter. I would say that you've recently come across some sort of energy shift that allows you to stand in your power differently. And it's not so outwardly, like you don't have to direct a narrative. It's more so like something inside of you has shifted that is enabling you to receive better and like receive better care. If you're feminine, like if you're the female part especially, like something really did shift inside of you that just allows you to step into an energy that is much more sustainable than it has been in the past, where you thought you needed to carry the load of everything on your back, sort of. And you also realize what doesn't work for you, what isn't stable for you, what you can't ground yourself onto. So that's something that's been going on in the collective. I've come across quite frequently. So it's just stepping into your true essence, I want to say, that has shifted this whole narrative for you, and that leads you to abundance and happiness and a very joyous life, and gives you the ability to also feel into your emotions differently. And your partner, I want to say, is very much enamored by you and the way you just carry yourself, the way you just brighten up the room, and the way that, I want to say, bring sunshine into their life, quite literally with the sun. They love how detail-oriented you are and how you just, I want to say, create the atmosphere. What I was saying about like brighten up any room, what I mean by that is not only when you step into any given room, but also how you bring so much lightness into the home space, and how you just with your presence nurture a space that you inhabit. If that makes sense. Like every place just, I would say that you're probably a woman. We see some aspects to the masculine as well here. So this is like very much counterpart energy. And I was called to read it quite literally as feminine and masculine. And then I was like, not again. And Spirit's like, do that. And I think it would also be beneficial if you identify as female, because I feel as though in these cards is already your counterpart and how they behave is like written into the cards as well. So, seeing it from both sides is something I haven't seen as much before, but I'll get into that. But what I was saying about the room and how you just transform a room, I want to say with this sun card and the butterflies being depicted there and the sunflowers, it is giving an energy of transformation, and it's the energy they really do enjoy. The way you just make them feel, but also the way you make the home feel, how you give it this essence. That is what's coming through here. And I love that. And this nurturing aspect and the joy you bring this person just gives them so much strength to pull through, and I would say to tackle anything that comes along the way and that wants to disturb your peace. And I would say this person is so proud to do so. And that's an aspect of the future. Like what's next for you in love is that you get to, flies. You quite literally get to be protected by someone. You get to feel secure and safe. And I know it says new love, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings, but for some of you, I'm getting that it's the same person. If you're already in a committed relationship, then this is going to probably be the same person. They're going to feel like a new person because something just in the makeup of your energy both has shifted so significantly that it just led to you two having a whole new dynamic that it feels like a new person, although this is like same old. But for the majority, I would still say, yeah, probably this is a new person since we see such a breakdown with this transformation in reverse. But if you identify as female, then you've really gotten a grip on, and this reminds me as well of like readings I already did previously, you not needing to change your perspective, or you not needing to change yourself or bend over backwards to please someone and go the distance for someone. You gotten a grip on, a very good grip on letting someone win your heart and win you over, and letting someone come correct, because this person really is coming correct. And I would say they're showing up super stable in the relationship, but I want to say their biggest desire is to protect you and to nurture you and to bring you joy, happiness, and lightness, and you deserve that, pile number one. I mean, you already know that you do, but you really do deserve that, especially after everything that went down here that we see. But Spirit's also telling us with the moon, you don't need to know everything just yet. Things like step into that energy of mystery and let yourself be surprised by how things unfold, and let them unfold naturally. And like it's getting, the vibe I'm getting is like a very teasing vibe, like being teased by life almost. Like it's a lot of fun though. It feels like so much fun. It just feels like one step a day, and it doesn't feel like you have to actively seek that. Instead, and by that I don't mean like don't interact with people, especially if you don't know this person yet. That's not what I'm saying. It's just you don't have to win no one over. Someone here is really trying to win you over, and it could also be that multiple people try that. But I'm getting more so a sense of you stepping into a very nurturing and loving, equal, harmonious relationship. And by equal, I mean essentially someone who's gonna make your worth very clear. They're not gonna play around that. They're not gonna try to play games. They're not here for just the thrill of it. Their thrill lies in really winning you over, and doing what's necessary in order to have stability and like really fight their wars. What's standing out to me so much is the Seven of Wands and how it's depicted. You know, like someone really trying to win you over, and you not having to bend over backwards just to try to please someone. And I see someone who doesn't want to do that either. So if you're the masculine inquiring about the feminine here, then this would be more so that you really want to go the distance for this person, and you see their worth inherently, and you get pleasure out of protecting and nurturing their happiness. And if you're the female part, everything I said prior is gonna be a given, which I think is just, it's such a beautiful, harmonious relationship we see play out. And I love to see that for you, pile number one. And also what we do see is that in the future, it's not going to be this part of, remember what I was saying prior about the aspect of you needing to release something, or not, no, that's not what I was saying. I was framing it as you sometimes, because of this tower moment from the past, sometimes whenever you go back to replaying that memory, it feels like hard on you. Sorry, there's like a bird is here. We got it. So, yeah, it feels like it's very hard on you. But Spirit's saying with this bird we see depicted, and we just heard, you can, like it's not going to feel like you constantly need to release trauma. It's like stepping into a whole new world, but not like the transformation process will be perfectly done. It's not going to feel like whenever things from the past come up, then it's just going to be like, okay, yeah, I remember that and I'm okay with that. That's the feeling I get from future you, is someone, and that may be something that you can't even quite imagine right now, because it's not the same feeling as you had whenever you remember the trauma of the past, or when you do it right now. But future you, probably it's not as severe any longer as it used to be, but future you is like very much fine with it. It's not like a releasing process. It's not like having to reinvent yourself every so often just in order to get rid of certain aspects or of trauma, essentially. It's just future you's very in tune, is very relaxed around these things because things have significantly shifted. Yeah. And I think the birds, they do play a part, so I'm going to leave that. Because we see that what I was just talking about, okay, that's quite loud. I see them, quite literally. It's two. That's looking like a Two of Cups. And then we see the release. Yeah, they're gone. Good for us. So, oh my God, this is so funny. It's cracking me up. I love when spirit does that. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah, that's important because we see wings, especially depicted by the Seven of Wands. With the dragon, this person is defeating, and then actually it's not defeating the dragon. It's cooperating in order to win the battle. Makes sense. So, and then with the bird, with the release part, so that was significant actually. So it makes sense that the birds just flew right next to me. Oh, and you know what I missed? Before I was filming your part, a bird literally flew into my apartment, and yeah, wow. I think that's too much for me right now. It's like, wow, that's a lot. And see how, you know what I love about the whole depiction? See in this transformation card, we have the butterfly, and we have the butterfly here. And your angels, or whatever your belief system would frame it as, your guides, whatever you want to call it, they took you away from the situation. And it's interesting that this tower isn't broken. Often in these depictions, the tower is completely broken down. And I would say your angels took you away before things really did hit rock bottom. And it seems as though there was like divine timing in play. We see this depicted here. And then we have the butterfly. So it seems like this has been written into your story. And this is super significant. And I'm not really seeing what went down, because I think this is for Mina to really be able to tap into that energy. Spirit just reminding us that you've come a long way on this journey already, and there's a part of you that is releasing all of that. So this isn't going to be a thing in the future any longer. It's going to be dissolved. And as I was mentioning, whenever you're reminded of what went down, it's going to be this process of just recognition, but it's not going to feel draining. It's not going to bring you down to a lower state again, where you felt terrified and you were literally feeling the feelings as you were in the past, or aren't connected to this narrative no longer that something went down that wasn't as pleasant. But in one way or another, you really were protected here before things could really have hit rock bottom. And it was to make you see something and remind you of something. I would say it feels almost like lost knowledge, something you didn't realize about yourself any longer, and something you had to rediscover. And I would say where your actual strength lie, and not needing to please someone or invest in situations that won't get off the ground. We see with this Ace of Pentacles in reverse, not needing to be smart and witty about a situation and putting so much strength and courage into it, and just realizing what's actually serving and what's not. So yeah, I do see that strongly depicted. And with the Hanged Man, I'm almost tired to mention it because I think you might be back from a different reading I did. So love to see you here. Happy to have you be part of my community if like someone's here from previous readings, because the Hanged Man is quite frequently third place with these, which is significant to me, and especially in reverse, almost always in reverse. So interesting. Or it's a collective thing. That could also be the case, because I've seen different readings, just, you know, curious what other readers are doing and how they do their readings. And I see this come up with other readers quite frequently as well. So might be a thing of the collective. Yeah, but just this inner knowing that you don't have to bend over backwards just to try to see things clearer and try to make something work that doesn't support you the way you need it to support you. And we see that that's not even a thing in the future any longer. And that's not something that's gonna be present in your energetic body, if that makes sense. That's what I was trying to say with the release in reverse. That's what we're seeing here. It's not going to be like stuck in your energetic body. You really have let it loose. It's gone. And Spirit was very clear about that. Remember, the birds, like now they're a little further away, so it's bearable for us, but they served a purpose, very important purpose. So yeah, this reminds me of something, but I'm not going to get into that. But this person that you're gonna encounter is going to be someone who is fighting a lot of battles for the both of you, and I would say rightfully so. So you serve a different purpose than they do. Like being in a committed and equal harmonious relationship, I think for your future, it's gonna not look like you doing the same exact tasks. It's like everyone has their respective role, and that's important. And it's very different from one another. It really gives me polarity that what you got going on, which I think is beautiful, because it's like enabling to have sparks for way longer, I think, when you have like a good foundation. And I see this very strong foundation in your future, like someone you can absolutely 100% rely on. And I would say it's due to this moment, and it's almost like spirit just wanted to show you something. It may have been harsh or cruel, or it might have felt like it was, but it's not here so much, but we still do see it though. But what am I supposed to tell about that one? Yeah, okay, so it may have felt harsh and cruel that you had to go through this. And I don't want to say Spirit's saying like it could have been far worse. That's not what Spirit is saying. Like Spirit's saying you were protected all along. But it's important that you saw that, because something inside of you had to be transformed. And that wasn't surface level. That was really something you had to rediscover that was there all along. Some inner knowledge that you really had to get to. And this is reminding me of an Angelina Jolie movie where she is looking for a hidden treasure. What is that called again? Yeah, whatever. So that's the vibe. But what also is the vibe here for your future, like your future connection, is the song Loving is Easy. And I'm trying to guess something Orange County. And the name of the song is Loving is Easy. That's the vibe of your future. It's like a very easy love, because especially if you're female, because someone is so protective over everything you have and so protective over you, and absolutely not in a toxic masculine way, more so in a very much loving and nurturing and caring. And I see good boundaries being inflicted in this relationship. Very good boundaries, very good. Like it's almost like you don't even have to talk about it. Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting. Like there's like no need to talk about it. It's crystal clear to everyone involved what is what, and you move so smoothly through this whole process. And it's giving reciprocity, harmony, commitment, very loving and nurturing. And as I was mentioning, if you already are in a committed relationship with this person, things are going to shift energetically so much so that you will not even recognize like this person any longer. Especially if that is what you want. If you're in a, like, I actually don't see that, but if that's the case, like you're in a relationship that is not what you want, what you deserve, or any of that, then I think that's not going to be your pile, because that's not what I see here in a connection, that there's like something harmful going on with a current relationship, like a current committed and loving relationship. I don't see that. I see something from the past being determining the future here in a very positive, guiding way. It's like stepping into a fairy tale almost. It's like stepping into a different realm, I want to say. Sometimes I have this, especially when we take walks, and just the sky changes and everything is so picture perfect, then sometimes I'm like, wow, this doesn't even feel like Earth. And yeah, and it's interesting because you have the Ace of Earth in reverse. Yeah, this doesn't even feel like Earth. It really does give me like fairy tale vibes, which I love to see for you, pile number one. And yeah, this person, see how like in the Ace of Air, this masculine is coming up with this bouquet of flowers. Like someone is really coming correct here, and that's like the feminine is holding space. She has learned to hold space to receive. And if that is still something that you feel like is troubling you, or you see like lack thereof right now, then this would also be like beneficial for you to go back to the drawing board in terms of learning to receive, or just tapping into that energy of receiving, or just reminding yourself when you already are receiving. And that could be like the most mundane things that you receive, like the most mundane things, like taking a shower and feeling provided for. Everything that makes you feel provided for is going to be beneficial if you still are struggling in receiving everything that you want in a relationship, because that's incoming for you. But if that's a thing still, then that could be beneficial, definitely. Because in your future, there's like, you energetically opened up to receiving so much, and you energetically opened up to someone coming so correct. And just someone's coming that is coming in is very, we literally see intellectual, and I would say they're quite witty. but they're really trying to sweep you off your feet, do everything to please you, bring you. That's the type of vibe that person's gonna come in with, and is gonna try to win you over. And Spirit's, so I'm not sure if Spirit's telling you here that you got to get into that energy of receiving that, and that's a more passive act, I would say. If you're the feminine, that's a more passive act, just to lean back and lean into that. And if you're the masculine listening to this, then everything I just said, like, you're gonna recognize the feminine by that, what I mentioned, that she's leaning back, that she may not have had it very easy in the recent past, or just in the past, but she has moved beyond that aspect of her life, and she's in her power now. So that's how you're gonna recognize her. And also the way she makes you feel. She's very light and witty, and she has so much joy, and she brings so much joy to the home. She knows her boundaries. She's super capable. She's loving and understanding and kind, but she knows what's good for her. That's coming through quite strong. So she's not trying to please people. She's not a people pleaser. She may have been in the past. That's what's coming through. Actually, that's the word. That's the word. That's something that went down in the past for sure. And they're not like so pleasant memories around that. So but that's not going to be significant in the future, only because it just unlocked something for the future, some knowledge for the future, some understanding, deeper understanding. But it's not only knowledge, it's like something intrinsic that, you know, the saying, it's one thing to be told and another to, that's not the literal saying, I don't know what it is, but it's one thing to be told and another to experience. And that's the thing here. It's like it has become so ingrained into this awareness of the feminine that it just shifts their perception and brings about this new love and this new just joyful future. It's so pleasant to see. It's so unique. It's literally like stepping into paradise. There's nothing else I can say about this. And to have couples that just, I would say that you are quite remarkable as a couple, because like you and your future partner, quite remarkable as a couple, because you show others what is possible, and you also are a very good representation and something other people can look up to, take like as a role model for picture perfect life. And it doesn't mean like it's all butterflies and sunshine. Sure, there's like a huge aspect to it that is, but we see here, like with this 7 of Wands, you just get to enjoy all aspects, even when times aren't as good. Like we see a real connection here. We see everything, like all aspects to it. And to me, it's just so beautiful. It lights up my heart. And that's the feeling I'm getting for like both involved. It's going to be so joyous. Love to see that. I think that's all I have. And if you're the feminine, let someone win you over. Let someone sweep you off your feet. And if you already know this person, good for you, pile number 1. Like, everything I said, just, and also embrace the mystery of not knowing everything. Embrace that. With the moon being here, Spirit really wants to sweep you off your feet, like show you things you've never imagined could be possible for you. Make room for that inside of you. That's all I have, Pi 1. Thanks for being here. It was such a pleasure. And if you like this reading, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Hi, Pi 2. If you chose this deck or this crystal, then this is your reading. Before we begin, I am so grateful that you've chosen to join me for this reading. Your support means the world to me, and it also helps me create more content that resonates with you. By liking this video, you can also help other people discover this reading and receive the guidance that they may need. So if you enjoy this reading, please take a moment to like it and share it with others who may benefit from it to grow our community. It's the easiest way to support our community and also support my work. Thank you again for watching. It's greatly appreciated. So what is next for you in love? Let's light these candles. Hopefully I don't burn anything. Literally almost burned this one. So, what is next for you in love? We have the Devil upright, but it doesn't look like the Devil. And so this is talking about something else in your reading as well. Okay, I cannot show you this card literally, but it's Temperance, and let's put your crystal on top. More rocks in the depiction. She is naked. Okay, so that is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, get it. The Chariot upright. The Three of Swords in reverse. Nice. And then we have the Five of Swords in reverse. And Two of Wands upright. Yes. Interesting. Very interesting depiction, especially in conjunction to the Chariot and the Three of Swords in reverse. King of Cups upright. Yes, pile 2. The Sun upright. Wow. I think this is the same. No, it's almost the same placement as in pile number 1, which was such a cool reading. And then the Queen of Cups upright. What? Pile number 2. Wow. This looks divine. Okay. And then we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, it makes sense. Make it make sense, and it does. See that? Yeah. Wow. The Emperor upright, as he should. And the Six of Cups upright. Yes. Oh, lovely. And then we have worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. And what was I saying? This looks divine. It does. Wow. Oh God. Pile number 2. What do we see here? Such cool energy. Very juicy. Yeah, this is parental advisory. No, but what I'm going to get into is also everything physical with this person. Like whatever person's upcoming could be a whole new connection. Could be someone you already know. But someone that's upcoming in your love life is very much emotionally mature. They know their place in life, and I don't mean that in a negative or condescending or any type of that, like framing it that way. It's more so they have really done some work around what, like they do their inner work essentially, and due to this, the way they show up is well thought through. They don't do hasty actions, like they don't make uninformed decisions. When they made up their mind, they're coming correct, and their actions will show. And there's just so much to unpack here and so much juiciness. Like the whole reading is so full of light and love and joy and laughter, and just, we also see like a direction this is turning into. It's such an interesting direction because with the Two of Wands, and I was mentioning that when I was unraveling the cards, is that usually it's depicting someone being at crossroads and things could go in either one or another direction, and everything is pointing just to one direction, and it's backing up a plan. I would say a common ground. Though you may come from different backgrounds, or you have a different upbringing, or you have some differences, just aspects that are different, but you make it work and you bring it together, and you just find common ground with the next person that you're gonna be in a committed relationship with. And I want to get to the Devil, because why not? Because in the Devil here, it's something positive. Actually, I would say, especially because this is depicted as just a man in business attire. But yeah, in occult teaching, the Devil is a light bringer, and we see a lot of light here, especially with the Sun, and the Devil is connected to the Sun. So this is also what is going to be very joyous and happy in your connection is anything physical. That's going to be very good with this person, and whoever is inquiring about this is going to feel like this is something they never experienced before. The level of safety they feel, and the level of being able to, yeah, I'm not going to get into that in depth because that's just not what we do here, but we see some about that, especially with Temperance showing up without clothes yet. And I just gotten this deck. I wasn't aware that that was going to happen because all of the other cards, they don't imply that that was going to happen, but you know, that's what we got, and it's important for your reading. Because I'm just going to mention that, please, if you're very young and that doesn't apply to you and you haven't experienced any of that, I don't see that for the majority. I see that the majority has some sort of heartbreak that is connected to something physical, or had that in the past, that they did not feel 100% safe in physical connections. But I wouldn't quite literally say that it was something that went on during. It feels more like the consequences, like how someone felt afterward. It just did not feel right. And the person that was involved, the other part that was involved, they did not show up right. They came in pretending like something, and they ended up being something else. we see that literally with the devil here, the way the temperance card is depicted. Something that should have been equal harmonious in the past wasn't that, but we don't see that from like we do see it, but we don't see it also because it's not talking about your past. This reading isn't talking so much about your past, but it's just going to be such a difference and it's memorable for you. And that is why I mention it. And that's why like it's in the cards, it's here very significantly so that you feel extremely safe with this person. And this person makes you feel extremely safe in terms of that. It makes you feel, just like you can trust them. And like it's such a shift from what you've experienced before. But I would say that there's still some sort of wound to that in the present. That's not going to be a thing in the future though. So this is again reminding me of pile number 1, which is interesting. And please, if you want to check that one out, because Spirit's doing the same, showing the same patterns. Not that was something different, so that maybe something, there might be a message for you, but we see the same exact pattern just with a different narrative here, where Spirit's telling us something that's going on right now, or that went on in the past, or that has been significant for you, and is showing us the future, which is so beautiful, and showing us how bright the future is and how much it holds for you, and how much tranquility it holds for you, how much reciprocity it holds. Very mature eye-to-eye connection, joyous, fun, loving, reliable, consistent, dependable, just nurturing. Did I say joyous? I did. So that's what we see here with the devil being depicted. So don't be scared or thrown off because the devil is here. I know, like, if you have any type of Christian upbringing, then that's going to probably be a deal breaker right when you see it, when it comes to your future connection. But that is not what the devil is actually about. And it's weird to say that, but if that's not your religious background, but that's just what Spirit wants to tell me with the devil in the sun being here and in conjunction to the sun. That's just the light bringer. And it is also the devil, especially in tarot, and you can look this up if you want to, and if you're not familiar with that, it's talking about pleasure also. There's other aspects where the devil is more negative in the in readings. That's not the thing here with your future, especially with the depiction, which is very different from the original tarot and the original depiction of the devil being chained up to something and being very much in desire. This seems to be very mature. The way you can deal with this, very mature, and it's talking about pleasure. It's literally talking about pleasure. So we see pleasure in your future, but something that gives you drive in a good way. But I want to clarify that. Actually, I didn't do that in like the previous reading, that we had to clarify anything, because everything seemed to be just very clear. But like with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, this makes me think that someone in the past did not show up right and did leave some sort of wound regarding that, with the Three of Swords in reverse. So in the future, this isn't going to be a thing. It's going to be the contrary. You're going to step out of that, and that's going to also help you heal something that you experienced in the past, if that makes sense. So Five of Swords in reverse, love to see that. This is especially in conjunction with the Two of Wands. And again, we have a fly here. Why did I leave the windows open? It left. So it's the Three of Wands. No way. Oh no, it's a Three of Wands. I got it totally wrong, and that makes sense with the Chariot. But you two are moving in the same direction, though you may come from different backgrounds. This connection feels like an expansion, and very much so like being backed in your beliefs, in your, like, you might have certain aspects where your beliefs don't 100% match up, but with time, this is gonna, you know what that reminds me of? Remember when you were a kid and you had dough, and you had different colors of dough and you matched them together, and in the beginning when you had them, you could still see like two colors, and if you, that's like a lost memory, and if you just played with it for a while, then it was like it turned into this brownish sort of one color thing. So funny. That's the same energy. Once you get mashed together, you're like two parts of the same thing, if that makes sense. But you're just moving in the same direction, and the longer you do, the more it's just going to turn out to be moving in one direction even more, in doing so with even more conviction. But from the get-go, I see you expanding with conviction. And I would say that for a minority of you, this is also talking about moving somewhere else together, like changing states or changing just changing location. And maybe one of you needs to change locations in order to be with the other. Yeah. But it could also like be changing countries, like moving across the ocean or something. So yeah, that could be a thing. But it's not going to be like a huge discovering process when it comes to what's important to either one of you. It's going to be clear. And yeah, I get like a very meshed up vibe from the two of you. You're like this team that's just moving in one direction, which we really see being depicted. So what I was saying about the crossroads isn't true, but what I was saying about moving in one direction is. But though, because I was seeing it that way, see, the reason was I wasn't reading what the card was saying, and I was just seeing the Two of Wands, and I wasn't recognizing that her little wand is also supposed to be a wand. Yeah. So but with the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, definitely counterpart energy, could definitely involve marriage, because we see the King of Cups holding the scale, and that's reminding me of Justice, Libra energy. So could be that the two of you are literally getting married. That's definitely here in the future, like for what's next in love. Could definitely be the case, because we just see that the masculine is someone who, I want to say, definitely wants that. And yeah, things I want to say, I'm just not going to do it. Again, with the Sun card being depicted here, yeah, it's again the devil we see coming up. That's gluing you two together as well. It's something worthwhile for the two of you, both of you. So I'm not going to get into that. Yeah, this person, like in pile number 1, very protective over you and over your happiness. And especially if this is the male part with the Emperor we see here, this person could be someone who's very well off and financially well off, and is not afraid to shower you with their abundance. And that makes the feminine feel good as well. So the masculine is here to provide. That's like the Emperor is just provider energy. It's someone very much in their power. So this person is, yeah, it's very attractive, I would say. Tapping into their energy, yeah, very attractive. Like I would say that if you're the feminine inquiring about this, then you're very much attracted to that person. And I'm just like I can't even get like a sentence right now tapping into that, like very, yeah, no, I can't. I'm lost. I can't even form a sentence right now tapping into that energy. Let's get out of that. You can do that. I don't have to be around that energy. So wow, yeah. The Chariot upright and the Three of Wands, and that, wow, more 3 energy, 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, 3 of Swords, maneuvering. Like the future of like next in love is very much moving out of stagnant old energy fast, moving out of, like, the way you come out of that quite significant and fast, just on to the next one. And that doesn't literally have to be a different person, though. Yeah, I would say that's literally someone else. Then definitely then that one who just, whatever didn't make you feel physically at ease, I want to say, or it's just a very icky feeling to it. Oh, no, don't want to even be, yeah, no. Yeah, you get out of that, like, with force. It's just such force that you get yourself out of that. And it's so self-assured and so a very confident way of moving to the next, yeah, I want to say level, but also moving to what's actually fulfilling for you, and being super self-assured. And your confidence is something that really does attract this person and whoever you're inquiring about. I mean, oh, okay, you're not inquiring about this person because this is what's next in love, but I do too many of the you versus them, but or what are they thinking about you right now. But yeah, whoever this is about for you next in love is very like someone who just admires the self-confidence that you present yourself with, and just admires your level of determination, which is quite significant. So with the Chariot, see how she's depicted just looking in one direction and aiming something and being so sure of what she wants to target and what she wants to hit and what she wants, what's next for her. And then also with the Three of Wands on the depiction, which is giving the same character, just different lighting, but and different clothing, but very much determined. So realizing that you have the world on your sleeve and coming correct and coming with conviction and carrying yourself in that light, I want to say. So this is something that will inspire your future partner a lot to step into that themselves more, and it's, yeah, just very attractive to them. But you're going to have a very fulfilling and stable love life. And with the feminine, I would say with the feminine holding this mirror, this is also depicting her having done the inner work and her just reflecting the beauty of her heart and of her character outward. Whereas she might have cycled out of something, but did so with determination, where she was presented with a world that did not outwardly present her with her, like, the inner beauty she inherits and the inner beauty she possesses. So this feminine here possesses such a light-hearted energy and is super nurturing and is super, I would say, has a value system of being positive and being self-reliant, but not in a way of wanting to go the distance by herself all the time, just more so when it comes to her value system and her beliefs. And I see that not being reflected in the past in her outward experience, and now that she's stepping into that connection. But it's not only about the connection, it's something that shifted inside of her, but that's also shifting in her environment for her. So finally, the beauty of her is also reflected around her. She sees that more stable and abundant than what was inside before. And the light from within is just shining outward. But also it's doing something to her environment and where she is. Yeah, I think I'm getting something for the majority of you about being in a new environment, or just the places that you go to with this person there seems to be something new to at least one person. So that it may be like a different city or just, different places that you go to. But there's definitely an aspect of feeling more at home with what you experience, what you get to experience in connection to this person, and what this connection enables you to do as well. But I would say if you're the feminine inquiring about the situation, what I was saying is actually a thing here. And I was saying that, and I was framing it as such and not quite framing it, but just getting it and reading it as, when I was talking about what's inside of the feminine and how she is carrying herself, I want to say, it's very complex right now. It's very complex, especially in conjunction to the Three of Pentacles. Oh, it's not. So with this person, the scale is even, and we sort of also see the Empress being depicted here because we have all of these threes going on. We have the Three of Swords in reverse, we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Three of Wands upright. So something about the feminine being wounded in the past. And due to that, she stepped into what I was saying earlier, the self-reliant aspect. That's something shifted emotionally for me right now, uncovering this. But she had to be very self-reliant, and due to that, this is giving survival mechanisms, and not like literal. It doesn't have to be that you literally felt like in fight or flight, but sometimes when we don't feel safe with someone or something triggers us, then we unconsciously go into fight or flight. And I would say, as a coping mechanism, the feminine got very much what I was saying earlier. It's not something I can easily explain, and I don't know why, because it's easy, but like someone who's just giving instructions, someone who's trying to always give directions. Yes. Oh, wow. And I don't know what to say about that. Maybe because I haven't gotten a clarifier, though I was talking about it and then it got clearer. But that's usually the case. I'm like, I need a clarifier. And then I look further into the energy and I'm like, I actually don't. It makes sense. But here we see someone who needed to step into it was a survival mechanism, I want to say. This is super complex because I see it it's definitely here. It's literally in the cards, but the energy is so hidden underneath something. So this is the subconscious I'm looking at right now. This is going into fight or flight, and it hurts. It hurts. And the more I try to look at it, the more I'm getting very teary right now. Oh God. Yeah. Okay. Why do we need to know this, Spirit? Please tell me. Wow. Why is this significant? Let's clarify with a different deck. Three of Swords. Wow. Yeah, because of the heartbreak. Okay. I'm so sorry. Part 2. Wow, I'm literally crying. Oh my God. Okay, let's get another one. What does Spirit want you to know? Literally, there is so much happiness incoming, but there's something you need to know about that one. Oh my God. Page of Cups. Okay. Very similar depiction, especially to this Temperance card in the way it's depicted. Though this isn't a naked one. Okay. Spirit saying, and my dog is very much concerned right now. She's like, should we go cuddle? Cute. But the way this is depicted is Spirit's telling you to try to start getting intuitive notions about what you feel and what is lying underneath the surface for you, and just tap into that emotion and tap into the unknown. Intuitively tap into the unknown and try to intuitively come up with things. Maybe journal, maybe do something around this heartbreak that you endured. Just so you need to feel it and feel into it all the time, because it's like underneath the surface right now. And it's not like, this is a coping mechanism that makes you feel safe when you go into that different, oh god, yeah, wow. So the Three of Swords looks like she is at a funeral, and I think this is just the hidden emotions that you buried underneath, so that you feel safe, and getting into that mode of always needing to rule or always needing to determine the direction and being super hands-on to a point where you cannot get into a very comfortable, like, leaning back type of energy. And Spirit's saying it would be beneficial if you could release these emotions by allowing yourself to feel them. And I once listened to a podcast, and I'm not sure if that's scientifically proven and if that was like true information, but it sort of resonated when I heard it. Someone was saying that we actually feel emotions for a very slight, like they're super slight, they're like only a few seconds or like a few minutes max. So what we're actually afraid of, or what's actually causing us harm or more harm, is the narrative we have around something, or when we don't let ourselves feel these emotions. So it's okay to feel certain emotions from the past again, so that you can release them, only to release them. And that's something, it's interesting because that's something that's similar to pile 1 right now, but it's different though. But yeah, so you can release them, and it seems as though, it's going to be significant what you see in this Page of Cups card. If you're the feminine, especially, what you see in this Page of Cups card, or what this reminds you of, to tap into something, because this is like very much the act of tapping into something, meditating over something that is intuitively known, and something that is something about the emotional realm. And it could be significant where your moon and your Venus is in. This is going to be different for everyone. No, let's not get into that too much. So yeah, but whatever this makes you feel like, I don't want to get too far into that, because like right now I'm not sure if it's actually important. Yeah, we definitely do see that it being very important. 333. This is a talk about stability, feeling safe with someone, and this is going to be different for everyone in like watching what went down. I'm so excited for this person and like to come in and just, yeah, but it's going to be important that you let yourself, like, allow yourself, and that doesn't have to be journaling for the next 20 years, doing like X amount of time wherever, though journaling is something that is probably beneficial, but you intuitively get like into what will feel right for you. But just be aware that this aspect of you being so hands-on all the time and never leaning back, or mostly if you're the feminine inquiring about this, is due to what is like surface level. And this isn't about taking the hardship into the future, and I see a lot of people do that, and that's why they are afraid. Also, like, this seems to be like some sort of cycle, like some people, and I won't exclude myself from that, there's probably aspects like that I haven't touched upon, but are afraid to tap into certain emotions because they don't want to drag that energy into the future, and they want to be positive all the time, which is obviously, like, it's a good thing to be positive all the time, but then just keeping these emotions stuck underneath the surface. So what they're eventually doing is dragging these emotions into the future. So it would be easier to allow yourself to feel that, and so that it can dissolve. And yeah, with others, I get this narrative of feeling the need to wear these scars for the rest of their lives. They don't have to do that. You're not inquired to be the same person you were 20 seconds ago. You don't have to show up as that, as your past wounds and hurts and griefs show that this taught you something, but you don't have to take that into the next chapter. You can write your own, like, you can be a totally new you. You can be the new you with everything you learned and every experience, and that doesn't make you less than. In fact, like, no one can take anything away from you. And if someone did hurt you, pie too, I'm gonna go fight them. No, but yeah, someone did hurt you, and this grief is, this is why. This is what you're gonna do. This is what's happening. You watch this, Wow, that's so significant. You watch this, now you know. Now this is going to be significant to you. This is going to be significant to you. You're going to change that and you're going to dissolve that. And because of that, you're going to be able, probably the majority here is feminine, you're going to be able to lean back more and don't feel the need to do that no more. So this is going to shift what I was saying about your environment and what you see outside of yourself, because this is like as above, so below. No, that was that. Three of Swords, as above, so below. Because you have that, like, you're suppressing that instead of healing, instead of working with it. And start, one step at a time. It's a practice, and form a practice around allowing yourself to feel that. Find a positive outlet for your emotions. Find something where it feels safe to feel those emotions. Whatever you can find that will make you feel safe to feel those emotions, very good thing. And then this, see, she's, oh my God, I want to cry again. See, it's blank. It's like no one took anything. And you're going to work around that. You're going to find a very good outlet for these emotions to pass through and to be released and to honor that. And this has significant aspects of pile number one. But pile number one was different though. It was more surface level, different directive. But yeah, and then that will show. So we see as above, so below, and this is as within, so without. And that's what I was saying about like your environment shifting in the future. Wow. And this person's going to be worth the wait, because, and everything that's playing out. So yeah, I would recommend you watch pile number one actually, because there's just different aspects about this connection then probably, or you'll find different aspects about this connection if that did resonate. If not, then obviously don't. But yeah, maybe you felt drawn to pile one as well, but that's going to be, yeah, different aspects. So yeah, love to see that. And you're gonna build very good memories. And see, what I love most about this is the Queen of Cups with this mirror being depicted by the Six of Cups, not depicted, is clarified with the Six of Cups here. And that is talking about happy memories of the past. Remembering the past is something that you cherish. And I think this is I don't think we see it. This is gonna happen for you, that it's not gonna be icky and feel draining and feel frustrating, feel like it's literally hurting your heart space. It's not going to be the case. And this is green. It's depicted in green. So heart chakra, you can't make these things up. I mean, wow. Just wow. You're going to be content, and you're going to feel content even around these memories. They're going to be something that once was, and you're going to see the positive and the negative. It's not going to be like all negative emotions around that. In fact, I think you're going to reframe your past so that it amplifies the happiness in your future. And the joy, you're going to feel much more joyous due to certain aspects, which, wow, I don't, like, tell me how you transform that. But you will. Wow. Yeah. Love to see that pile number two. So happy I got more into that, because I thought I got everything. And then, yeah, look closer. And then, yeah, so happy that you were here. That's all I have. If you like this reading and if it did resonate, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and hope to see you again soon. Bye, pile number two. Hi, pile 3, if you chose this deck or this crystal, then this is your reading. And before we begin, I am so grateful that you've chosen to join me for this reading. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me create more content that resonates with you. By liking this video, you can also help other people discover this reading and receive the guidance that they may need. So if you enjoyed this reading, please take a moment to like it and share it with others who may benefit from it. To grow our community, it's the easiest way to support our community and also support my work. Thank you again for watching. It's greatly appreciated. Pile 3, let's reveal what is in store for you in terms of your love life. So we have the Three of Swords upright. And this seems to be a theme today, that we see what is currently going on in like this part, and then see what's in store moving on. So interesting theme today, interesting pattern playing out. Yes, see, walking away from something. Six of Swords. Someone is walking away from the drama. The Moon upright. And I hope you can see that. I'm going to show you the cards. That's way better. So this is the Moon upright. And you have the Three of Swords. Hope you can see that one. And the Six of Swords. And then the Nine of Swords. Yeah, makes sense. And then the Wheel of Fortune upright. Love to see that. As well as the Ace of Coins. Yes. See, we have a transition as we had in pile number 1 and pile number 2. If you feel drawn to one of the other piles, might want to check that one out. Another one out. The Wheel of Fortune again. Wow. Different depiction. Very similar to the Ace of Coins. Interesting. Ace of Cups in reverse. Hydrate, pile number 3. It's very hard to read your energy. Like, it's so clear on the table, though it's still hard to read your energy. You need to hydrate. And then 2 of Wands upright. And the Fool upright. Interesting. Interesting depiction of the Fool as well. So, Queen of Cups. Lovely. 2 of Swords. Real theme of 2s going on. 2, 2. The Wheel of Fortune looks like a 2 with this yin and yang depiction. And what else? Yeah, we also have the Moon in reverse. You have the Moon upright and the Moon in reverse. Yeah, interesting. An interesting depiction with the eye colors, with the 2 different eye colors. And then having that upright and having that in reverse also gives me like yin and yang, because it's depicting a male and a female. And very interesting energy. Extremely divine. And then you have true love, this romance. This is the romance of a lifetime. Wow, pile 3. Wow, pile 3. Interesting. Yeah, as I was mentioning, it's so obvious, yet it's hard to really tap into your energy. It's pretty obvious regarding the cards, and it's breathtaking patterns we see play out here in very distinct energy, I want to say. So what's definitely going on here is that currently there's some sort of heartbreak, which is similar to pile 2. They had the Moon come out as well, and also the 3 of Swords. So you might want to check that one out. But yeah, coming out of heartbreak, leaving the drama behind, I would say this pile is ascending to a higher level and ascending away from people and situations that no longer serve. And we see this literally with the depiction of the 6 of Swords right underneath the heartbreak card and clarifying the heartbreak card, walking away from drama and being ascended to higher levels, definitely. And it's also interesting, the depiction we're getting here with it's a 6 of Swords, though we see 2 swords being depicted on the sidewalk of this staircase up to abundance, which we see play out with the Ace of Coins as well. Wow, it's magnificent energy. And then we have the 2 of Swords. See, this is like a theme going on here, a theme to ascension, essentially, for this pile. And this pile, especially with the depiction of the Moon, is ascending from the heartbreak and ascending from the harshness. And this is, yeah, just coming out of the water. And this is giving a transformation process. Very interesting patterns going on in the collective right now. So, because we had similar themes in the other 2 piles as well, so yeah, again, might want to check that one of these out. So but yeah, with the 9 of Swords, I mean, it's literally also depicted here in this deck as being backstepped. I would say that, and I can 100% relate to that, is that you may not feel comfortable in certain groups you surrounded yourself with before any longer, or certain people you just start to drift away from them because your energy is changing and shifting, and you no longer resonate with certain people because they're not on the same level any longer. And I would say that Spirit is just telling us that this is the path to ascension and the path to a level that you want to achieve either way. And your partner, what's next for you in love, seems to be true love. We essentially got that with the oracle card, but yeah, it seems to be true love. And this true love is awaiting you once you make it to the next level and you're already on your way up. We see someone who's already hitting the staircase, already left the drama behind. And the 6 of Swords usually is talking about a transitional period and a time of great change. And it's also talking about leaving behind baggage, and I would literally see it as leaving behind toxic situations. And I wouldn't say this is only related to matters of the heart in terms of a romantic partner. In terms of a romantic partner, but also related to friendships, friend groups, where you recognize toxicity and where you don't feel comfortable and where you feel backstabbed and not appreciated for who you truly are. And this is, I can 100% relate. I'm getting some sort of energy where you can't be your authentic self around certain people. And I mean, like, we're a different version around almost anyone in our lives, but when these versions become too extreme, it's like some sort of chameleon effect that I'm getting also with the moon in reverse here, that no longer resonates with you, having to play down certain parts of yourself in order to please other people. And I'm also getting this toxic trait that I'm seeing around so frequently right now, and I think this may be why, so that I can spot it in the reading. I see people talking about it, and I hear people talking about it, and also recently someone in my life that I did not have the worst of relationships came back, and I got that icky feeling with them somewhat. So it's giving me this theme of you feeling betrayed by someone because they bring up certain themes or conversations around you that they know are somewhat triggering to you, and you feel triggered by that, and you know that they do it to trigger you because I sometimes get that, like, when you make it to the next level and you're still triggered by certain aspects or certain things that people say and do because you haven't like fully let go, but it's also just frustrating to tap into that energy or be around that energy because you no longer resonate with that. But also it's like still dragging one down, and it's preventing you from forming this new identity around what you actually want and deserve in life. And it feels like a roadblock because it's essentially pulling you down again from where you try to ascend from, or what you try to ascend from. Like people who constantly remind you of an old version that you no longer resonate with, and they just feel so comfortable for you to step back into that. It's like something I heard about venting to people, and then you make it to the next level and you no longer resonate with the version of you that vented to these people, and now they see you ascending and they're so comfortable with that version of you, like what they related in terms of you, like how they saw you, they're comfortable with that version. So when you see them, they sort of remind you or want to remind you of a time when you've vented to them. So, but you no longer resonate with that. But it's irritating and it's frustrating to have that going on. So I'm getting like some sort of that scenario that is currently like ongoing, where you just walked away from and you no longer resonate, and you set healthier boundaries. It doesn't mean that like you're cutting everyone off, but I see you cutting some people off or cutting situations out of your routine that you no longer resonate with this depiction of the Six of Swords, especially in conjunction with the Nine of Swords. Things that prevent you from ascending comfortably and tapping into the energy of abundance. So this is like a process of recognizing who you feel the most abundant around, or who gives you a feeling of being joyous and being at ease with, and recognizing that in people in order to make better choices in the future. I see you having to make a lot of decisions and choices with the Two of Wands and the Two of Swords. So a lot of decisions coming up regarding your love life, though for your ascended version, it's going to be easy to pick and choose, but not in a sense of that still not, like there still needs to be, like some choices still need to be made. And I want to tap into that more because I feel like I'm not getting a real grip of that, though we see it play out all over your spread. So with the Wheel of Fortune twice in your deck, in your spread, very interesting depiction, especially with the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. It's like either or we get here. And I'm not happy with like needing to make a choice when it comes to, I wouldn't say it's like needing to make a choice when it comes to finances or emotional fulfillment, because the universe is essentially abundant, and this is the depiction we get as well, is that one of abundance. So I'm not gonna, especially with a depiction of the Ace of Coins here, so I'm not gonna, which is the Ace of Pentacles, I'm not gonna tap into an energy that says otherwise. So I would want to clarify the Ace of Cups in reverse, because right now it just doesn't really make sense. But I see for the majority you having, like with what is next for you in love, I see for the majority having like children, literally, with the Fool as a beginner card, but being depicted as a baby and more infinity. Yeah, that's why I was saying like we're not going to limit ourselves here in terms of what's possible for your future. Maybe it's also a process of recognizing that, and recognizing that in everything that is bad can also be found the equivalent in goodness, if that makes sense. Because the Wheel of Fortune with the yin and yang is right next to the Nine of Swords, and it's right underneath the Ace of Coins. So future you has something figured out around that. Yeah, let's clarify the Ace of Cups in reverse. Okay, that's way too many. Interesting that you got all of like many cards that came out for pile number 2 as well. Might be a message there for you. Just one card, Spirit. Okay, 9 again. 9 of Swords, 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands in reverse, putting the burden down, not needing to be so strong. Interesting. What was that? Was that pile number 2 or pile number 1? Yeah, might want to check that one out, but okay. So future you has will decide upon the path of least resistance. This is a timeline. See, this is a reading and it's surrounding you needing to make certain choices. You're going to be presented with certain options. For some of you, that is going to be very obviously recognizable. For others of you, this is going to be more minute and gradual. Though we see all major arcana, but it's super hard for me to tap into your energy because I think that your energetic field is certainly a little protected or overly protected because of what went down in the recent past, I want to say, or how your energetic body is still responding to this sense of heartbreak and betrayal. So that could be a reason why but for some of you, this is just, you'll feel it gradually. For others of you who get to open up more and soften their energy and soften their energetic field again, it's going to be more obvious the choices you get to face, like when you can make these choices. And for others, as I was mentioning, more gradual, but still they're going to be there. And in this depiction where we see you choosing true love, choosing what's actually best for you and what's right for you, is going to be the one that is the path of least resistance. It's not the path where it feels like you have to move mountains or you have to glue everything together over and over. It feels more like this is the easiest choice to be made. Really the path of least resistance. But it's up to you. And it's going to be up to you. And Spirit's also saying like you're divinely guided either way, because we have the Wheel of Fortune up in both depictions. And just there's one path where you choose the road of least resistance. I don't want to look into what would it be if you didn't do that. Am I called to do? And it's funny because as I'm recording, I'm seeing 2626 on my phone for like recording this. Yeah, I'm not going to look into that if you don't choose the path of least resistance. So again, and it's funny because in pile number 2, I was reading the 2 of Wands into the reading and you actually got that one. Accidentally, I did. So I definitely do see you having some sort of like offspring with that person. And if that's not literal, but I would say for strong majority here, that's the case. But for others of you, that's just projects you'll choose to have with this person are very fruitful. Like, you know how some people refer to their business as their baby? I see that for some of you, and a minority though. When I started reading these cards, it felt literally like being in a video game or Sword Art Online, if you know that one. And it's almost, some people refer to life as a game. And that's also something that I saw in the recent past quite frequently. And it seems to make sense in your reading. Your reading is like, it's like a game. It's like choosing to go somewhere and then the whole game being determined. But Spirit's giving us a heads up that either or it's going to be good and you're going to be provided for, and you're going to, by Spirit, definitely, you're essentially going to get what your heart longs for in the long run. This is extremely divinely guided. And it's such an interesting stack to get because it seems outerworldly, and I was saying that for pile number 2, but this is just a different level of being divinely guided. And it feels like when you were a kid and literally watched anime and you got this feeling of being part of it and being on the quest with the hero. And this is like how your life feels, essentially tapping into that. It's being on this quest, and I think it's about opening up to those possibilities and something that may have shifted inside of you that's also very similar to pile 2, that you may have forgotten about yourself, to reactivate that kindred spirit inside of you in order to tap into that energy again of being on this quest to fulfillment and bringing more joy into your life by exploring life, exploring the unknown, trying to tap into your intuition again. And that's a thing, like future you has that down to the T with the moon in reverse and upright. That's the as above, so below. That's how I read those. And And you got that energy going on all over the place. So this is very much the life of a true creator, someone who's very hands-on, someone who's built to create in this lifetime, memorable stories, paths that haven't been touched before. But for you, it's the path of least resistance, which is interesting, but it's something about tapping to your intuition again, being able to tap into your intuition again, being able to embrace the unknown. And at this point, I feel like a broken record, because that was what I was saying in pile number 2, where Spirit showed us the moon upright, the same card here, upright, and you have the moon upright as well. They did not have that, but this card came out upright. So this is also talking about embracing the journey. Yeah, embracing the fun again, the fun that life is granting us. And I think we lose that, which is a given almost, because everything is so, yeah, life can be hard, right? But we lose that sense of lightness and embracing the unknown. We want to know everything. We want to know every little detail in order to feel safe. And as a child, you felt provided for, you felt backed and supported. So because you just did not know a lot of like things, and that's obvious, like the more you know, like that saying. But with that spirit, it was super easy to just tap into the embracing the unknown and feeling like every day is a gift, and every day is your playground, and every day is like new possibilities for what's out there. And I see future you really embracing the journey and having that down to the T, living in the moment, being very much in tune with intuition, embracing the unknown rather than fearing the unknown. And due to that, a lot of doors just open up, doors that have been closed since a part of you inside was closed off to that. They just open up. Yeah, it's really giving this video game theme again, where you just unlock a new level and you get to the next level. Yeah, with the 6 of Swords, you're getting to the next level, always leveling up. And then, yeah, see, and then what's then? That's a good question. And I think that's something that Spirit does not show us yet so much of, since we have the moon twice. It's like embracing the journey to get there. What's in store for you is already good. We see that with true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. And the Queen of Cups, emotional fulfillment, emotional maturity. The Queen of Cups, she's someone who's in a state of flow, in a state of, yeah, especially with the Ace of Pentacles in conjunction, in a state of emotional abundance. And I think that's what you're gonna experience. And for the majority, I see that the offspring you're gonna have is gonna give you some emotional fulfillment, major emotional fulfillment as well, and will lead to that. But it's up to you. It's really up to you what you wanna unlock in certain, like during certain levels. It's giving me this vibe of even in certain levels that you're in, not needing to do everything in order to get to the next level. So it's up to you. It's going to be up to you. And Spirit's for you embracing the path of least resistance in order to feel safe and good, to get yourself out there more and get more in tune with what gets you in this state of flow. And yeah, embracing the unknown is the key that's in these cards. Embracing the unknown, knowing that it's almost like with the Wheel of Fortune twice, luck is on your side. It may not feel like that every day, but that's the fine print we see. So we see you needing to face what everyone faces, but it's the mindset that is shifting surrounding that, experiencing density of the world as we know it, which is just intertwined with duality. And yeah, future you really has that down to the T, experiencing like for everything that may go down that doesn't feel as pleasant, there can be found an equivalent of good inside of that experience as well. So that's something that future you really does embrace and finds abundance in that, and sort of alchemizes that to your advantage in terms of your love life. Like that's essential, like your love life and the path to your divine partner, and like what will feel like true love to you is very much intertwined with your whole life story, which is the obvious, but here it feels more divinely guided than per usual. And it just feels way more exciting, I must say. It's not I'm getting a partner, we're gonna have a baby, and then, we do XYZ and then it's done. It feels more like embracing the journey, really embracing the journey. It's sweet. It's like playing a game, essentially. You don't play the game only to get to the last level. That's always on your mind. But what's the fun in it is like the small steps you're taking. That's if it was only about getting to the end of it, the whole game wouldn't be as interesting. It wouldn't grab your attention as it does, because it's just the small steps you need to take and the challenges you're faced with, and embracing that journey and seeing like it's something to embrace. And I think that's something that future you really has down to the T. There are some important decisions you need to make, and I just sort of I'm nosy here, so let's see what those decisions are about. 6 of Pentacles, but I'm not going to take it. I want something to fall out. Yeah, that's sideways. We don't know if it's upright or not, and that was way too many, so I'm not going to take that. Please, like 1 or 2. No, that's way too many. 2. We're going to have it. No, that's way too many again. Why is it happening? 1 or 2, Spirit. The unknown cards. What? No. This is essentially what I was talking about. So the 5 of Pentacles is talking about experiencing loss when it's upright. And when it's in reverse, in this deck, I would literally say it's talking about this equivalent benefit factor I was talking about. And I've never heard about like this is the first time I'm shuffling with this deck for this reading here, because I just got these cards. So the unknown card never flew out. Okay, it's also basing the future you is basing their decisions on seeing the full picture, not, okay, now that makes sense. Not being emotionally charged when it comes to making decisions, making important decisions. And I'm super guilty of that. Sometimes I make like decisions based on, I don't feel like it, or, and that can be right, obviously. But future you is more so looking at the whole picture and looking at the great scheme of things and how they serve the bigger picture. And it's seeing if things feel like they're lost, they're not. So this is interesting. Yeah, future you definitely isn't so pressed on just one side of the coin. Like you see full picture, you see it all, if that makes sense. It's not just, even in the moment, you can grasp the bigger picture. So that's going to affect the way you choose love. And that is why you get like true love, because it's not about instant gratification or how someone makes you feel for a second or for maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a year. It's more so, how does this person fit into my life? How do we get along, and all of the nitty gritty. And future you has that like down to the T because of the way you just form decisions. And I'm getting a more masculine approach than we did in the other piles. So yeah, it's very interesting tapping into that, must say. Okay, and you also don't form decisions in trying to look into the future all the time. You are living more in the moment, and therefore this is also very significant to your relationship. We get a lot about the way future you makes decisions or doesn't make decisions, and that seems to be quite significant when it comes to your love life, because we have real cards indicating like the Queen of Cups at the end of the reading, and this Fool card being depicted as this baby, and then true love, and then the unknown card in reverse. Just remarkable to me how I was talking about embracing the unknown the whole time, and I've never seen a deck having an unknown card in it. So this is blowing my mind. But this 5 of Pentacles in reverse is essentially talking about what I was telling you about this Wheel of Fortune and the depiction of the yin and yang symbol here, and being aware of that. Future you is very aligned with life and aligned with what there is in store and what you can experience, and embracing the journey and therefore forming new pathways along the way. It's like in a video game, you're not going to be overly concerned, even if that's like a very tactical one. You're not going to be overly concerned with level 22 or level 33 when you're at level, like when you're starting the game. You're going to be concerned with the level you're at. Maybe next level, maybe you think like, oh, next level, I heard it's this and that, but you're not going to be overly concerned, because future you is very much aware that that takes away from the journey. Imagine you were just concerned with the last level. You wouldn't get all the skills that are needed to achieve it, and B, you're probably not going to get there because a different skill set is needed at each stage. So yeah, interesting, love that one. But future you has that down to the T, and I would love to meet future you and have like a chit chat, because that's remarkable. I get such cool energy, like such cool people watch my readings apparently. Very divine readings, very divinely guided. Very cool community we're building here. And yeah, I'm so proud of you, Pile 3. And if this resonated, let me know in the comments down below. I would really love to know what's going on. Or just meet someone that's Pile 3. Very cool pile. Yeah, thanks for letting me read your energy. It was a pleasure, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye, pile number 3.